Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and in this video, we're going to talk about a couple of things. The big thing being an overview of my team of Pokemon for Season 2 of our own Pokemon Draft League. But before I start talking about Season 2, I want to address the activity, or lack thereof I suppose, of the channel recently. For those of you who follow the channel regularly, you probably noticed that I didn't post any videos after the regular season of Season 1 was finished. It was at that point of the year when school started to pile up, and I felt that I wouldn't have the time to properly record and edit the battles like I normally would, so I thought it best just to not record the matches at all. So with that said, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the final results of Season 1. As many of you might know, I ended up actually taking the first place seed going into the playoffs. I was really excited and looking forward to a long trip deep into the playoffs. My first round opponent, the Belleville Blossoms, piloted by my friend Alex. You may also remember that I lost both of my regular season games against Alex. To be blunt, and every player in our league knew this, his team straight up countered mine. So after a lot of hype for myself, I ended up falling on my face and losing the first game of the playoffs. Luckily, our league was a double elimination playoff, so I still had a chance. My second opponent was the Thorol Thunderers, piloted by Steven. After a very poor team prep for myself, since I prepared everything that Steven didn't bring to the battle, I lost my second match and was eliminated from the playoffs in an unfortunate 7th place. But hey, now Season 2 is upon us, we can finally delve into the 7th generation of Pokemon for the Pokemon Draft League, and Team Bump and Dump is looking to come back strong and with a vengeance. For those who don't know, the way our Pokemon Draft League works is each team drafts a team of 12 Pokemon, in a style similar to the National Hockey League entry draft. Of the 12 Pokemon that each team selects, 3 Pokemon are to be from each Smogon official tier, and each tier is to be drafted from individually. This way, no one team has an overabundance of powerful Pokemon, while leaving another team with weaker Pokemon. So today, I'm going to talk about the Pokemon I drafted, and reasons to why I drafted them to be a part of Team Bump and Dump for Season 2 of the PDL. The draft started out in the OU tier, or Overused tier. The Pokemon in this tier are deemed the most powerful Pokemon, as they have the highest usage percentage on the Smogon website. Team Bump and Dump had the 4th overall pick in this draft, and with it, I selected Tapu Koko. A fast electric type is almost essential for each team to have in a draft league like the PDL, and why not select the premier Pokemon in this category? Add to this that electric terrain boosts the power of its electric type attacks, it's also a fairy type, and the fact that it can be on both ends of the offensive spectrum, and there was no reason why Tapu Koko shouldn't have been high on any player's radars. My next pick wasn't as cut in stone for me, but in the end, I decided to go with something I was confident in playing, Heatran. This lava frog is able to hit hard, but what really makes it shine is its ability to check fairies and just be a defensive tank. Plus, it's able to set up Stealth Rock. In the end, Heatran was just very reliable for me last season, so I decided to take him again this season. For my last OU pick, I selected Weavile. Bump and Dump last year was lacking in speed to say the least. This year, I wanted to remedy that, and Weavile definitely lets my team do this. Weavile is also a great wall breaker, with good stab coverage, stab priority, and a wide move pool. Also, it's noteworthy that Weavile doesn't even need a choice item to be an effective wall breaker, making it somewhat versatile as well. Weavile is definitely a good fit for Team Bump and Dump, and I hope that I can use it to the fullest. With my 3 OU picks out of the way, it's time to look at my picks from UU, or the underused tier. The Pokemon in this tier have a slightly lower usage percentage than in OU, but they are still very effective in being key pieces to teams. With my first UU pick, I decided to give Weavile a good wall breaking partner, Volcanion. A monster special attack stat, wide move pool, and above average bulk already make Volcanion a monster, but what really pushes it all over the edge is its ability, Water Absorb. This makes it so he can safely switch into water type attacks while simultaneously gaining more health in the process. For me, this was a no-brainer to take with my first UU pick. My next pick was Fortress, a tried and true defensive Pokemon. My team last year also didn't have the greatest hazard control, but Fortress absolutely fits this role. Plus, it can set its own hazards. Add in the fact that it gains access to utility moves such as Toxic, Volt Switch, and Bulldoze, and has a useful ability in Sturdy, Fortress makes for another solid addition to Team Bump and Dump. My final UU pick was a little on the fence for me at the time of draft, but now I can say with confidence that Conkeldurr was the best choice I could make. The threat of Guts being activated with my opponents trying to give it a status condition is great. Plus, it also has access to a wide move pool, including all of the elemental punches and knockoff. In addition, its stab attacks are super powerful, with options such as Superpower, Hammer Arm, Drain Punch, and Mach Punch. Another wall breaker for Team Bump and Dump is always welcome. Halfway through the draft, it's time to take a look at Pokemon I took from the RU tier, or Rarely Used tier. Once again, the Pokemon in this tier have a lower usage percentage than OU and UU, but do not underestimate these Pokemon. Throughout the entire draft, players kept mentioning how for this league, there are many very good Pokemon in this tier, and these Pokemon end up covering many large holes for your team. My first pick in the RU tier is a Pokemon that might actually get banned next season, or at least force a rule change in our league, Silvally. Silvally acts as a mini Arceus, in the sense that it has balanced stats across the board, but more importantly, has an ability that changes its type depending on its held item. Combine this with the very wide move pool, and Silvally becomes quite possibly the most versatile Pokemon in this league. Depending on what happens this season, the members of the PDL may end up banning this, or at least change a rule stating that a team can only have one form of it. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy having a Swiss Army knife on my team. It's your boy! Virizion is back on Team Bump and Dump as the premier Swords Dance user in the RU tier. On top of its solid speed stat and a mixed offensive move pool, Virizion is going to hit hard this season, as it will be the Pokemon on Team Bump and Dump that uses Z Crystals. Virizion is just one of those good all-around Pokemon that always attracts attention to itself and is a big reason why I decided to draft it again. Next up is Donphan. I didn't have a ground type on my team yet, and that's another essential component to team composition in a draft league. Also add in the fact that it's a good defensive Pokemon, has access to hazard control, is a dedicated Earthquake user, has access to knockoff, has a surprisingly wide move pool. I could go on for a while. Donphan is definitely going to be a key player for Team Bump and Dump this season. The last tier in our league is the NU tier, or Never Used tier. Once again, the usage percentage in this tier is lower than all of the others, and honestly it's for good reason. There's only a select few good Pokemon in this tier, and most of the time, the Pokemon in this tier are there to fill very small holes in team building. Luckily, I was able to get one of those select few good Pokemon in this tier in the form of Liepard. Functioning as mostly a support Pokemon with Prankster and access to Thunder Wave and Knockoff, the Pokemon I call Trixie Hobbitses always overperforms when used correctly. And, as an added bonus, Dark-type Pokemon got a buff in Sun and Moon, now being immune to Prankster. Using it last season made me 100% sure I wanted Liepard for Season 2. With my next pick, I drafted Golduck. This may seem like a very mediocre pick, and to be honest it kind of is, but I picked Golduck for one single purpose, having the ability Cloud9 to be anti-weather. I had him on my radar specifically for that reason, and to be honest, more teams ended up drafting weather-based cores than I thought would. So I wanted an answer for all of those, and Golduck is how I'm gonna do it. The last Pokemon that was drafted to Team Bump and Dump is Electivire. Honestly, I'm not too sure if it fits my team well, but it does offer some versatility to the team in the form of using an electric-type wall breaker instead of an electric-type pivot like Tapu Koko. It does get access to some nice coverage moves and boasts a great attack stat, but above that, I'm not too sure about this pick. It will probably be the first Pokemon I drop if I can find something else that my team needs instead. And that does it for the overview of Season 2 for Team Bump and Dump. I'm honestly super excited for this season to start. Week 1 is the week of May 8th, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to follow along for the ride. Also, if you want to see the other matches from everyone else in our league, click the first link in the description below and subscribe to Pokemon Masters, the channel where everyone else and myself post videos of their matches from our league to watch the entirety of Season 2 as it happens, or you can watch the previous season for some fun. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.